Hello. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, this helmet doesn't look very bright on there, but I don't know if it's just the way the light's reflecting off of it. Let me turn that other light on. Oh, weird. This helmet just seems to absorb light. That's all right, though. But yeah, so it's Sunday. It's really hot. Bit of a weird Sunday for me, because normally I work Sundays. I'm back to work, but then I got flexi furloughed today. So I ended up just, getting loads of stuff done today and being out quite a bit. So there you go. There's the Romanian helmet on again, the Romanian M73. But as I said, it's quite weird because I'm used to working on Sunday and I'm back to work now. But then I was told by my boss yesterday, due to flexi furlough, work Saturday, have Sunday off. So hello, everybody. So if you can hear the aircon running over there, afraid there's not much I can do about that because, it's hot and I want the aircon on just because this room, takes too much heat. Yeah, so it's the Romanian M73. And as you can see, it seems to have a wonderful ability to steal light from the webcam. I don't know how it does that, but I'm assuming it's just the sort of color finish on the helmet, even when light is really obviously hitting it to my eyes. It looks quite dull on the camera. But yeah, I got the video filmed on this helmet the other day. It's actually quite good. Somebody did say in a comment, the reason there's that weird bit there is so when you've got the helmet on, if you lean your head back, it's more comfortable. And that does make sense, actually. It's like a padding bit, just so it doesn't dig into your head as much if you lean backwards, which makes sense. Yeah, it's one of those old conical helmets based on a Dutch one from 1923, believe it or not. So it's a very old helmet design, but it's actually pretty good. Well, it does look a lot like the Soviet SSH-68 helmet, because that's another conical one. But good evening, everybody joining. I might be on for an hour today. I might not. We'll see how it goes. Just simply because, it's so hot and horrible. Right, bots. Right, I'll have to tell you what the outside temperature is. I've got the room down to 28 degrees Celsius with the aircon on. Without the aircon on, it would be about 32 in here at the moment. But yesterday, when I got back from work, despite the computer not being on, the curtains being pulled in this room, it was over 30. So, let's have a look then at Kidlington at the moment is about 27, 28, according to the thing. High today of 30 degrees, low of 19 degrees. But we might be getting thunderstorms, I think, in the next couple of days, but they keep changing when they're going to hit. So we'll see. Yeah, I know, it gets hot where I am. Do I have any Netherlands stuff? Well, as I said, this is a copy of a Dutch helmet, but I don't know if I've actually got any Dutch military equipment saying that, because a lot of the Dutch stuff never seemed to turn up on UK eBay very often. Russian MP5? What do you mean by the Russian MP5? I'm not aware of a mask called the Russian MP5. Yeah, that'd be cool, bots. I don't know how many videos there are on French masks, but they made some more interesting designs, didn't they, the French, rather than it just being like, English box respirators, hype things, or, the German ones. Some of the French ones are kind of a bit more unique looking. Right, Richard? There's no real tactic for wearing masks in the heat other than staying hydrated and trying to keep as cool as possible. No, this one doesn't. I've not got a hammer handy, but this one just does that. The East German one's a lot more bell-shaped, but I think the liner in this absorbs a lot of the sound. Because the East German liner is a lot more bell-like. This one is, because it's kind of got a lot of leather padding in it, it ends up just kind of making the noise. I've got a rebreather. I've got an MP4B with a rebreather. I've got the 8.1 rebreather, whatever it's called, but I don't have any spare canisters to, rebreather things to activate, if you get what I mean. I'm glad you enjoyed the videos, Connor. I think everybody could do big fans at the moment. Stay cool. But even then, Stug, the Polish MP5 is 40mm, isn't it? Like, the MP4's a cheap filter mask, so if he said Polish MP4, I get him, but when he says Russian MP5, I've just got no clue. But oh, and coffee tonight, no alcohol. But yeah. All right, Peach. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream, everybody. But yeah, at the moment, there's nothing really exciting, you know, happening with me. It's just a case of waiting for a few things to come in the post. Well, with the streams I manage at Military and Surplus, the issue is with some of the videos now, I just can't keep up with the comments. Or I'll go to reply to comments, I'll get a load of stupid comments in a row, and then I'll just get pissed off and stop reading the comments. Because, yeah, when I did the video today on the PDR-M82D, you know, that one, annoyingly, loads of the comments on it were just people going like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I thought, fuck you then, I'm not replying to your comments. You know, if don't do the whole first thing, it's really boring. If say something interesting or like ask a question. But yeah, that's the annoying thing. So I used to reply to like every single YouTube comment. Now I just try and keep up with people on the streams. Or, you know, just try and read you know, comments on particular videos if there are things people need an answer from. What country you're in, Doska? But I know there's certain sites that do World War I replicas, but I don't know how good a lot of them are. What was the adapter for, Coco Stewart? What, for the batteries or what? If you're in the UK, Jimmy, don't say that, because you've just literally said that you've broken the law on the internet, which is never a smart thing to do. If you're in England, Doska, search World War I replicas airsoft. Not that they're airsoft masks, but I think there's some company that does a load of airsoft gear that does do a load of the World War I replicas, like they keep them in stock. I have no idea. Ash Stewart Exploration says, can I have a channel shout out? You certainly can. Oh, your comment's been hidden, Ash, and I can't do it, but if just make the comment again and don't mod hide it, because he is an alright channel. But he said you did a video about an AC-130 and Osprey flying extremely low over Suffolk. Why were they flying low at night? I don't know, training for something. If you go to the Lake District, not the Lake District, if you go to, you know where the mountain is in Wales? What's it called? Snowdonia. If you go to Snowdonia, they quite often do like tornadoes flying really low on training stuff. All right, Peach is saying for he's repeated Ash's comment, but that's for Ash Stewart Exploration. Yeah, Mount Snowdon, but the place is Snowdonia, isn't it? But yeah, I saw some tornadoes when I was there. It was pretty cool, especially because you don't hear them till after they've gone over. If you're making something that's illegal through manufacturing it from legal goods, it's still illegal. That's like saying you could build your own gun because you did it out of like car parts or something. No, do not talk on here about making illegal shit. Only issue of having the AC on is it makes my coffee cool down really fast. See, I'm nearly finished it now. Why were you dropping napalm? But okay. But yeah, as I've said to people, don't talk about weird illegal shit on the streams just because it's a very good way to get blocked or arrested if you're unlucky, if somebody actually reports you for what you've written. Yeah, but damn it, so I think the point I was making is more like, you know, somebody saying, if there's something that you can't legally buy, but you manufactured itself, would it be legal? And the answer is most likely no. I don't recognise the name of the T0 or TO gas mask without you giving more specifications. I do know napalm sticks to kids. The lyrics are probably a bit too offensive to say on here, Depressed Manatee, but I do know napalm sticks to kids. Flying low and feeling mean, see a family by the stream, drop some napalm, hear 'em scream, napalm sticks to kids. That one doesn't have a racial slur in it, so I can do that line. But yes, I do know napalm sticks to kids. With shout-outs, I only do it for channels that actually have content. And I ideally like to know what the content is on the channel first, because I don't want to give a shout-out to a channel and then they have like illegal videos on there. You're almost right, Cass. It's the Romanian copy of a Dutch helmet. But yes, the Dutch M23, M27 is the helmets the Romanians copied to make the M73 helmet. Right, Stu, you're okay? Yeah, be very, as I've already warned people, if you start talking about illegal shit, you're literally going to get a block now. Because as I said, if I've already given several people the heads up, don't talk about illegal stuff, and then people start talking about illegal stuff. I think you're literally digging a hole for yourself now, reading what you're saying. If a mod has told you to stop doing something, you stop doing it. You don't basically go, oh, but other people do it. If something's illegal, you just don't talk about it, full stop. Anyway, shall we keep the stream slightly more interesting and not as depressing with people just literally talking about stuff they shouldn't be talking about? People saying how many gas masks do I have? Too many, between 150 and 200, I imagine. Helmets probably about 20 to 30 helmets now, I imagine. Let's do the chin strap up on this, just because... Actually, for the people who wanted to see a Russian mask, I'll spoil you. Just because there's one here. Oh, shit. Not my ionization chamber. Now, I do have a feeling, though, that this mask is actually fucked. So I have a feeling that, despite putting the filter on it, it still won't actually work. But never mind, it will look alright for the stream. But... Right, there you go. This does actually do up with gas masks, which is a quite nice thing about the strap system this helmet uses, but yeah. I'm not splurging like crazy, Marcus, in all honesty. I am being sensible. Helmets like this are pretty damn cheap. No bots. I don't have any VPUs. But no, it's one of those things where if I'd have seen one for a good price, I'd have probably picked one up, but I've never been all that interested in them. So again, it's like if I'd have seen them, I'd have probably picked them up, but I've never gone out my way to look for them, really. Yeah, if I get a picture up of the SSH-68 helmet, I'm pretty certain these helmets are really similar in shape. I'll have to get an SS-68 at some point when I can find one for a good price. But they're kind of egg shape, aren't they, to them? It's pretty similar. I've got a couple for functional reasons, Ben, but a lot of them are just for collection purposes. So basically, you know, like there's a couple of modern masks and helmets I have, so if I ever really need them for something, you know, I've got them. But most of these old things, I just get them because they look cool and people like videos on them. The Depressed Manatee says, could he have a shout out? Yes, he could. I've not actually looked at his videos, but I'll risk it because he's been on here a while, so I don't think he's somebody trying to start problems. Hello, XXM Controlled Gaming. Danny, this is a mask of the Soviets war. You know, the Soviets, they're pretty far away from Nazis. I mean, they were both horrible, horrible dictatorships. But if you don't know the difference between communism and Nazism, I'm afraid the problem's you, not me. Which country are you in, random duty member? The best place I found for filters in the UK currently is Prepper's Shop, just simply because they have brand new in-date filters for actually sensible money. I keep meaning to do a video on the 3M filters I bought from them, but I've just not got around to doing it yet. Apparently I am a random Hungarian for wearing a communist mask and helmet. But, you know, people who don't really know the difference between anything. Random insults from people a truck camper, so nothing too much out of the ordinary. I've not really got any Vietnam stuff, at least American stuff. In the background there, which you won't really be able to see because of all the stuff on top of it, there's a British flak jacket, which was copied from the US design. But in terms of, you know, like Vietnam era stuff, I don't really have any US or not Korean, Vietnamese stuff. I've got other nation stuff from, you know, like the 1970s sort of period, but not actually American or Vietnamese stuff. What country are you in, XXM Controlled Gaming? The cheapest thing you could probably get for riot protection is a motorcycle helmet. If you wanted to get a proper riot helmet, obviously spend a bit more and get a proper riot helmet. And if you wanted to spend loads, buy a military helmet that you can actually put a visor on. And then you've got, you know, like a really, really good helmet with a visor. I'm glad you're all right, Stu, but yeah, you have to be really careful doing stuff like that. I thought the story was going to go then. Your kayak got, you know, pushed out to sea, and then the border force came over and thought you were trying to illegally enter the country. I thought that's where it was going, but I'm glad you're okay. I actually kind of weirdly like the voice diaphragms on these old Soviet masks. I know they're not like the highest quality voice diaphragms, but I do think they're actually pretty good at just, you know, making your voice fairly audible. The Virtus helmet Coco was just over £200. They're generally 200 to 300 depending on condition, size, everything else. And I bought it from an actual army surplus seller. You know, like not a single guy who just randomly had a Virtus, but you know, like a proper thing that was like a massive seller of like DPM stuff, and they just randomly have some Virtus helmets in. Yeah, the Virtus is obviously very expensive, but it's like an ECH style helmet, so you're not going to get them cheap because they're current military issue stuff. Or you could just replace the voice diaphragm. Well, if you were in a riot scenario, you probably would want a protective vest on, yes, because obviously somebody could stab or shoot you, or just break your ribs or something. So yeah, you know, the more protection is better with something like that. But you know, again, it depends. You know, you don't want to be unrealistically buying stuff you're never going to need either. If you can get one Coco for £200 and it's your size, I'd say get one. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, Jensen? But you can buy industrial like masks for like other stuff, which works the same in terms of protection. It's just, oh, it's a military mask. I'm not allowed to eat. I haven't seen your question, Golden Globe, but you're doing this the other stream, weren't you? So I'm a bit suspicious that you just spam random stuff in the streams. So if you've got a question, Golden Globe, ask it, but don't keep spamming answer my question when you've not asked a question. Or you've asked a question that YouTube deleted because you typed something in that was against YouTube's policies. You can get combined ones, XXM. Like this is a combined bullet-resistant and stab-resistant vest. Because basically what they do is they just have a stab panel in, which is combined with... I think in this one you can actually see the difference between the two panels if you look at that. Let's open it and have a look. I'm actually interested in that. Right, let's get the zip open. I assume the zip's at the bottom. Bear with me a moment. I'm interested in looking at this. You can generally get 3A helmets, Coco, for not too much. So I'd say if you want just a 3A helmet, keep looking for them. No, I think this is just how they folded this one over. Or have they? No, that's the bit so it, it covers that side of you. So this one will have the stab and bullet-resistant bit in the same section of the panel. Literally no difference, Coco Stewart, if you get a top-end industrial one that's multi-gas. Military CBRN filters are pretty much the same thing. It's just in general, you're not going to get brand new NBC filters that are in date compared to finding like ABEX style industrial ones. Yeah, XXM, I think I got to 89k, didn't I, the other day? Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm at 89,000 subscribers now. So according to Social Blade, that means I need 11,000 more subscribers. I go up typically 100 subscribers every couple of days. So 11k means 110 days. Well, it's 110 lots of 100 essentially. So yeah, probably still about a year unless I have a big boost in views. Yes, Golden Globe, your message is blatantly getting deleted then because you're not putting anything in the chat. I've got it set up, Ethan, so people can't direct message me on Discord except for people like the mods, just because I keep getting abuse from people who'd like pay money to get into the server then just to like harass me on private messages. So you won't be able to PM me unless you're one of the few people that's got access to it. But you can just literally at me on the server an irrelevant question about the stuff, because people do that and I answer them. But the crazy thing that was, and I'm not saying this like I'm boasting, I'm just saying it's kind of weird, was when all the Corona stuff was happening, I think I was typically getting a couple of 100 subs per day. That was when it was like crazy. Gas masks do block beta radiation, unless it's really hard beta. I've tested that. Get a bit of strontium-90, put a Geiger counter on one side of the mask, get a mask that's decently thick, put the strontium-90 on the other side. Most of the decays are getting stopped by the mask. It's all right, Dosker, if people are actually asking me a proper question. The issue is a lot of people just ping you for a laugh, and that's where it gets annoying, because they're not even asking a question. They're just like, oh, I can ping an admin, so they ping an admin. eBay ban, as I've said many times. I know that's not a specific website, but, I don't think vinegar would damage it, Simfrost, but you could just use soapy water. As far as I'm aware, Mr. Misha, France does not make Ghost filters. Everybody that keeps saying that CFF-free filters, or whatever they're called, fit GP5s or whatever, I assume is just bodging them on. Or they've not even got CFF-free filters. My worst gas mask, my worst full-face one is the Chinese pewter gas mask. Oh, finally a question that shows up. What do you think of the GP7V? I've got a standard GP7 up there. I've not got a GP7V, but I've got a PMK1 and a PMK3. The GP7V is just a GP7 with a drinking tube on, isn't it? Basically, the PMK one, but with circular lenses, not triangular lenses. Probably pretty crap because I really do not like GP7 masks. Just simply because the GP7 is like really over-engineered, but not made very well. You know, so you kind of run into that problem of it's a mask that has lots of features, but none of them work very well. And I can just never get a GP7 or PMK comfortable on my face because of those weird inner rubber seals they use. If it's proper silicone lubricant, Ethan, that will be absolutely fine. If it's silicone lubricant with adhesives, don't use it. It's generally cheaper, David. I mean, you get lots of surplus stores that sell through eBay, just basically because they can put stuff on eBay, and then, although they have to pay eBay and PayPal a bit of commission when something gets sold, they're essentially putting it out, you know, to a lot of people. But I found lots of proper surplus stores have an eBay page, and then, you know, very occasionally you'll find actual physical brick and mortar surplus stores that don't, you know, and they might have good stuff in. But if you're nowhere near close to a surplus store, you might as well just use eBay. At the moment, Daniel, no plans to get anything. If something pops up for a reasonable amount of money, I might be tempted. But so somebody with the name 1488 is asking me about Nazism. The Nazis were cunts. I'm glad Hitler shot himself. It's a shame not all of them died. There you go. There's my answer for what I think of your shitty fucking ideology. Follow your Führer. Bang. Whoops. If I offended somebody there, I don't care. I also think the communists were cunts as well. But, you know, there you go. It's because I've had people before go, oh, I think you're secretly a Nazi because you don't criticize them enough. It's like, no, that is my literal opinion on them. If you want to literally murder people based on their ethnicity, you know, and all those other factors, no, you're a complete dickhead. You know, normal people don't go, look at that person's skin color or the shape of their nose. They need to be genocided. You know. Now, the thing is, like I've said before, I think there are different tiers of stuff like that, you know, like not all communists are as bad as Nazis and not all the fascists are as bad as the Nazis either. But in general, I don't see why young people today think authoritarian ideologies where people get murdered and imprisoned for like basically nothing are good. Well, it depends what you mean by alt-right, doesn't it? If somebody is just right-wing, and I mean not in the sense of they want to kill anybody, and they're preppers, just as if they were left-wing or centralist preppers, what does it matter? It's only a problem when people, you know, decide that they're going to do horrible things with their ideologies. Well, I mean, talking about horseshoe theory, though, Communist China, the CCP, isn't all that far removed from the NSDAP in Nazi Germany now, are they? Expansionism, concentration camps, which may or may not be genociding people if you look what they're doing to the Uyghur Muslims compared to the, you know, Jews being done by the Nazis. There isn't much difference there. Ingsoc is in 1984. Ingsoc isn't either Nazism or communism. It's just horrible authoritarianism. Yeah, Philip, I normally don't get dragged into politics, but when you literally have somebody like 1488 in their name come on and say, do I think like Nazism is good, basically is his question. The answer is no, you're a prick. Basically is the answer to that. But yeah, should we redirect the stream for the last 30 minutes or so about talking about surplus Geiger counters and all that sort of stuff? Right, because I've got the aircon on in my room, AK, it's not too bad at the moment. It's 27.2 degrees Celsius. Before I put on, it was over 30 degrees. Outside, it's been like 30 odd degrees. Oh, Mr. Misha, we have problems with it in like surplus collecting communities as well, where people get really, really toxic. and bring horrible political ideology stuff in when people just want to collect and talk about like helmets and gas masks. You know. And again, I will make the point that not every German in World War II was bad, right? I need to really specify that point. I have nothing against Germans as a people. But, you know, the point is that people who ideologically support any kind of like genocidal and racially horribly system are bad people. There's no way around it. What do you mean by... Oh, the CDV is in a box, so I can't get that one out handily. The one I can show you handily is this one, the British one from the War in Iraq period, the Plessy PRM82D. I can get this one out. Hang on. Let me just close the battery cap. There we go. I'll turn that light off so it doesn't reflect off the screen of it. There you go. What's somebody on about audio? This is working with audio. I can make it louder if you want. Not that you'd want it louder, but... Now, the interesting thing of this counter is, as I've shown before, but it's worth just showing again, it was in today's video. I'm going to get two different samples to show you something interesting with this, because of how it works. So, the probe's in that bit there, right? So, if we put Fiestaware against it, it barely registers Fiestaware. Because Fiestaware doesn't give off much gamma radiation, and the gamma it gives off is very, very soft gamma that's not very penetrative. So as you can see, Fiestaware next to it doesn't do much compared to most Geigers. Get a bit of Torbanite, however. I always find that pretty interesting, you know. But this picks up stuff that gives off more dangerous types of radiation, you know, rather than... This isn't that dangerous, by the way. Don't worry and go, oh my god, Torbanite. Torbanite's not very scary, but, you know, it's interesting, though, how this Geiger is really good if you want to differentiate between the energy of kind of readings coming off. Yeah, there's so much stuff, isn't there, where people just don't know the history of stuff. But thank you, AK-47. You said, try living in California when it gets up to 100 F or 30 AC. I don't mind temperature if it's dry heat. Because I've been to, like, Spain and that before, where it gets to, like, you know, 40 plus, and that's fine. As long as you're in the shade or whatever and not being too active in the heat. It's the humidity that gets you, because you sweat and then the sweat doesn't evaporate. If you can get a good one, man of constant gold, yeah, why not? The issue is I've never seen any good ones for reasonable money. 414 different obsolete calibers, Daniel. That's very interesting. There are only really cool ones on there. Because I know like nearly every pinfire caliber is obsolete now, isn't it? Pinfires are really weird if you've never seen a pinfire. It's where there's like a little chimney sort of stem thing coming off the cartridge. I've got quite a bit of World War II German surplus, David, but obviously I have no love of the ideology behind it. I just find some of the gear interesting. But yeah, they conscripted people in other countries and used them as cannon fodder. I mean, I don't see why that's surprising. I mean, Britain kind of did the same thing. But yeah, just because they recruited other people into the German army from different nations isn't a sign that they respected those people. It was a sign of using them as conscripted troops. It might... Are you on Discord, Daniel? I can't remember. If not, when Mike next does a stream on Twitch, you should be able to put a link in then. Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? The stuff, the fungus that's eating the radiation. Yeah, it's fungus, isn't it? Not bacteria, like some sort of weird fungus. But that's very, very interesting. They're thinking about using it as a space shielding, aren't they? I mean, I don't know much about it other than the fact it's really cool that somehow a fungus has evolved to eat radiation. It's like, that's crazy, but you know. Yeah, Teespring's good bots. How Teespring works, there's a minimum price for each item. Then any price you put on top of that is your profit. So let's say it's $10 minimum for a t-shirt, say. I can't remember what the minimum price is. So you can't sell it for less than $10. So you could sell it for like $11, then you'd get £1 profit or $1 profit or whatever on that t-shirt. Yeah, it's a little bit hotter than here, Joey. It was that temperature yesterday here. It was about 37, 38 where I was yesterday. I think Friday was even hotter. Friday, I think it's been the hottest day on August in record in UK history. But yeah. But thank you for the donation. But yeah, I'm not a fan of hot weather. I said, when it's dry heat, it's not too bad. It's just the humidity that gets me. But I said, because I bought an aircon now, I thought a couple of years ago, I'm just getting fed up with the summers getting hotter and hotter here. I'll just buy an aircon. And since I've got an aircon, I have no complaints. You know, if I'm in my house, I can put the hose out the window in another room, you know, flick the aircon on, and then I have a lovely 18-degree temperature. But yeah, I'd say Teespring's pretty good bots. Mike uses Teespring as well, and he has a lot of success with it. Yeah, I've not seen the remake of Red Dawn, but I know the original Red Dawn, where like South American and the communists invade the USA. It's not a brilliant movie. It's good fun, but it's not very realistic. Ah, that's pretty cool, Ian explains. The original filters that come with it, Golden Globe, yes, they do. I watched Where Eagles Dare and The Battle of Britain again the other day, and they're very good films. I even ended up buying The Battle of Britain on Blu-ray, because it's such a good film for practical effects and everything, like Tora. It technically doesn't, Zinkman. Lots of people put GP5 filters on them, but technically it would have had an EO14 or EO16 filter, like those, in a satchel with a hose, or it would have had the PMK2 filter on it. Or the PMK1 filter, essentially, but, you know, like the slightly bulkier. Were they called EO18K filters, those? Is that the right name for it? Can't remember. Yeah, Bridge Too Far is amazing as well. All of, like, well, not all of them, but loads and loads of those 1960s sort of war films are brilliant, weren't they, in terms of, like, the amount of actors they had in it and the sets and all, like, the old surplus that they could still use for the films. Yeah, well, they used lots of real Spitfires, didn't they, in the Battle of Britain? Interestingly, if you ever go to RAF, what's the one near London? But anyway, the RAF Museum near London, they've got one of the last few surviving Stukas in there. And that was one of the Stukas they were going to use in the Battle of Britain, but to get it flying again would have been too expensive. So I think they had some like shots of it on the ground, and then they just used model Stukas for the bits in the air. But yeah, the actual Stuka, it's RAF Hendon, that's it. The actual Stuka in RAF Hendon is the one that's one of the ones that they were restoring for the Battle of Britain. Let me look that one up. So SZB04 contamination detector. Most of the ones in Chernobyl are the DP5s, but let's search it. That's pretty cool. Is that the one that's the spectrograph type thing, or is it a different thing? So it's got an alpha probe on it. So how exactly does this give a reading? Let's have a reader. I found a page of some info on it. And it's reading the page on it. Ah, of course it's got Nixie tubes in it to tell you how strong the beta flux is. That is really cool looking, actually. So yeah, it's not actually an alpha probe, is it? Looking at it, it's loads and loads and loads of SBM tubes in a parallel. Yeah, that looks really interesting. It's kind of a weird Geiger, isn't it? Because it's not one that's a simple readout meter. But it is quite a cool thing. If you've got the space for it and you want one, why not get one? It's pretty cool, but... But are the SBT-10A tubes the same radionuclide 95 as the ones that are like parallels of lots of SBM-20 tubes? Let's have a look. Because I know there's ones that look really similar to that, which are just lots of parallels of SBM-20 tubes. Oh no, so that looks like it's actually a different thing then. So it's like a very good, efficient tube design. It looks like a really cool thing. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, if you've got room for one, get one. I've looked at them, Ian. I've never bought one. I should buy one, shouldn't I? Really, I just never get around to buying them. What's $990, Elmo? I'm very confused. He said, I have a Soviet R107M radio with the digital display for the kilohertz. It's solid state, but it's also 12.2 kilos. That's pretty cool, man, of constant gold. A bit like a Nixie tube thing, is it? But loads of stuff like that is really cool. You know, again, like lots of this tech is so retro and obsolete that, you know, there's no point in having it really, is there? But for a collector's value type thing of them just being cool, they're lovely. Oh, wow. And they're free to leave the stream. Did lots of people leave the stream when I said that I don't like Nazis? Was that why they left? I'm going to have to go get some food, though, soon, because I've not had any, like, really big meals today. I've just sort of been snacking, so I want to go get... Maybe have an entire pizza? I don't know. Then do a bit of weightlifting. So AK-47 said, it's crazy that Joseph Goebbels said that the Third Reich and anything German will be remembered as legendary, and that will be more people than they ever army. What, as in that people still fantasize about them, or what? The thing is, I think any country that does a lot of evil stuff generally is remembered. I mean, isn't it meant to be after Jesus, Hitler is the second most known person in the world? Oh yeah, we're back about talking about Nazis and Adolf. I mean, Stalin's pretty famous, isn't he? And he was another evil bastard. As I said, Philip, I'm probably just going to cook an entire pizza and eat, you know, like 900 calories of pizza and then do some weightlifting. I have no idea, Elmo, what you're still on about, I'm afraid. When you are new and scared to death, you get take-no. I don't get what you get take-no means. That's Iron Sky, isn't it, Philip? I've never seen Iron Sky, but I do know they used Finnish M61V3 masks in that with some stuff on it to make them look more futuristic. Yeah, I would certainly not say Trump is a fascist. Trump is an American politician, and he sometimes says dumb things, but I wouldn't say that makes him a fascist. Especially when, at the moment, what was interesting, you know, Trump sanctioning the CCP and all that, that would be literally the opposite of what a Nazi or a fascist would be doing. It does make you wonder, doesn't it, man of constant gold, when somebody behind some of the highest numbers of genocides in human history gets voted as a great man. And technically he was Georgian, not Russian, wasn't he, Stalin? So I suppose he was a Soviet, but he wasn't really Russian. Well, Daniel, I completely agree with you there. there's a lot of people who don't know the difference. My point is the people that fantasize about it, and constantly, talk about how cool they were. Like, yeah, the Hugo Boss uniforms are cool, and all that sort of stuff. But the actual ideology itself was horrible. Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it, Richard, in that regard? But yeah, it's that horrible thing of there's lots and lots of people who do good things who are never remembered, but the people who are generally the most evil are remembered. A bit like serial killers, If you think about the amount of serial killers and rapists that, did horrible, horrible things to so many families, and more people know about them today than people who did like lots of charity work, invented things that saved countless lives. I think Coco Stew is just generally when you go too extreme on any ideology, it becomes stupid. Because there's the thing, like, most people, if they have moderate conservative beliefs, like mild to moderate liberal beliefs, left-wing beliefs, socialist beliefs, I don't have any problem with them. It's when people start going extreme left, extreme right, all that sort of thing. That's when their views become more about, if you don't agree with me, you need to go to prison or be shot. That's generally what happens with extremist ideologies. I don't know about the deleted scene of politics. I know What Did the Romans Ever Do for Us? I've definitely seen Life of Brian, but... Oh yeah, Mao was another dickhead, wasn't he? But yeah, I'll be off in a few minutes because as I said I want to pig out on a pizza. Moss and Nagants can be legally owned in Britain, Elmo, under a Section 1 firearms license. I don't know how common they are here, but you can legally own them. Yeah, thank you to everybody that donated. So other than in the middle of the stream, it getting a bit ranty about, the NSDAP, whatever their actual NSDAP, what the actual real thing was of the Nazis, and me sort of saying, follow your Führer, bang. It's been quite a good stream. Anyway, I'll see you all later. I don't know what days yet I'll be streaming in the week, probably most days, but there'll be days when I have stuff on and I won't be around to stream. And sometimes that can be a bit short notice because, I'll be out and then not realise I'm going to be out most of the day or whatever. But yeah, I do have a Pascut vest and I've done a video on it, A-Truck Campbell. But yes. Right, I will be off now. I will see everybody next time I stream, but don't forget videos are Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays as usual. Yeah, have a good day, everybody. Stay safe. See you all. Goodbye.